I just kept wearing them until they fell apart. They will be around example.
Yeah, I see why. Yeah.
I have 3 pairs.
Well, okay,
That was a great party.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode number 26 of We Press Play from your friends at WePressButtons.com.
You nailed it.
Where nothing else but We Press Play happens.
Yeah, exactly. But
For
you know
now.
what?
Yeah.
But, you know,
I've been noticed because I've been redesigning the site in my weekend courses, and like there's literally nothing on there except We Press Buttons shit.
it's
We Press Play, sorry.
Shut up. No, man. Shh.
We're just gonna get up some other content.
We're a proud brand.
How much more legit does it sound? And we're like,
I
we're
know.
from this other conglomerate.
The parent
Also, like
site.
the logo at the top is a We Press Play logo.
Yeah, well, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
You know what? Shut up. I haven't introduced anyone. Of course, joined by 3 fantastic individuals.
Correct. Fantastic.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Morgan
Yeah.
agrees. Just making
I
sure.
also agree.
Good. Just checking Morgan's barometer. How you feeling about yourself, Morgan?
I'm good. I'm fantastic.
There
as
you go.
As you
There you
just
go.
mentioned.
That's good. Of course, Morgan Cave, as previously mentioned, is here, joined by James Carmen
Welcome.
and Simon McDowell.
Hey guys.
He's
He's shaking his head.
He's sounding
saying
good.
hello.
You sounded real good today, man.
I am? Oh,
Yeah, just give me your deepest, like,
thanks, Simon.
yeah, that's
There you go.
fresh.
It's like your voicemail.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dude, you need to change your fucking voicemail.
No.
It's been like 7
You
years.
guys
It's been
go
so
fuck yourselves.
long. It's so good. Did you ever have one of those voicemails which, you know, you pretend to pick up the phone? You'd be like, oh, hello?
Oh, like
I
the
hate
prank
that
ones.
shit, man.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
Like an archer? No.
I-
I had
yeah.
one where I screamed at people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
It
that.
scared the shit out of like lots of people.
Yeah,
And it was
yeah.
really bad when I was trying to get a job.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't answer the phone, and then I'd scream at them, and then they'd be like, well, fuck this guy.
How many missed calls in that you realized were for potential job applicants did you realize, like, man, maybe
Well, I
should
was a
change-
teenager, so very little.
It's like, yeah, screw it. They should be able to filter. They should be able to handle me.
Yeah, no.
Do you
Like,
guys
if you're
remember
applying
the,
for a pizza boy job, you're not going to get any
like-
spectacular humans.
This guy is screaming on his voicemail. He's hired.
Yeah, this guy knows how to deliver pizza.
Do you guys remember
and I
the
got the job.
what were they called, like call me tones or something?
Yeah, man, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
like-
yeah,
So you
you're
call
like-
someone and it plays the song.
One of the many fads of like general telecommunications.
I
which,
called
like,
someone the other
went
day
down
and
the
they
toilet.
still have it.
Wow.
Yeah.
What? What network were they with? Shit.
I don't know, man. But I rang them and it started playing some random song.
Maybe it's
and I was
like a retro
"Shit."
joke. That sounds like something Matt would do, 100%.
Yeah, but this was like some really shitty song. So maybe, I don't know.
Maybe it was in fact Matt. How were the weekends, fellas? You enjoy
Fucking Matt.
hanging out with your, your
Yeah.
mums?
I
Dude,
did.
yeah, it was Mother's Day.
Yeah.
It was indeed.
Shout out to all our mums.
Shout out to the mothers of the world.
Yes. Word to your mother.
Nice.
Exactly. Yeah,
that's it.
exactly.
What did you
Need
get
more
your
words of
respective
vanilla ice.
mothers?
I got my mum like a Fitbit band thing and put it on my
nice.
brother to get a whole bunch of incense. Because like my brother's like, yo, let's hook mum with some incense. And honestly, it smells pretty
It's good
damn
shit,
good.
man, yeah.
I gotta say, I kind of want some at
She can
work.
hide all her weed stains.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So, I mean, if my mum does decide to take up the habit, there you go. But yeah, she seemed to
it up.
enjoy it. That's pretty good. What about you guys?
I got my my mum / dad tickets to Carmen.
Oh, well, that's nice. That's
thought it was
incredibly well
appropriate.
made.
Nice.
Yeah, all right. That's fantastic.
That's
man.
excellent.
What about you, Morgie?
I got my mother some truffles from some chocolate restaurant in Kirribilli.
Okay, hold the phone.
Truffles.
Can someone explain to me truffles?
I honestly don't know.
Pigs
I
find
walked
them.
in a store
Okay, thanks, Jamie. We now know how to locate them. Don't know what they are.
Sorted.
and
they
they're like, we
funny?
sell truffles. And I looked at every single truffle in the store. I'm like, I still don't know what truffles are.
So are they chocolate?
Yes, they're chocolate. It was
Are they?
chocolate wrapped in other
no,
chocolate.
they're not.
No, no, no.
Choc-
Truffles aren't
You
chocolate.
have chocolate truffles,
Oh, okay.
which are like truffly chocolates.
That's,
but
well, that's what I got.
but truffles, don't they grow in the ground
Yeah.
and like pigs find them because they have a great sense of smell?
Fruiting body of a subterranean
Fruit?
fungus.
Fungus. There we go.
So it's like a mushroom.
I thought so.
Yeah.
I
Does it
thought
taste
they were a
good?
fungus.
It must taste
you-
good.
Yeah,
surely
no,
you've had
I'd have
like
to ask my
pretty
mother.
apparently
I will.
they're insanely expensive.
Yeah, they're,
Yeah,
they're like
they
up
are.
there with the caviar-rich
Yeah,
people
yeah.
food thing.
But they're also in a bunch of chocolates, so maybe that's like artificial.
Are they in the chocolates, or do they say chocolate truffles as a way to identify?
Oh, fuck, I don't
Chocolate
know,
truffles.
Maybe they just look like
a truffle
truffles.
shuffle.
Maybe.
I don't know. Anyway, I got us some of those, and then I got us some like homemade scented candles from Etsy.
Oh, really,
Oh,
dude?
yeah. Do you have to make them
yeah,
yourself?
Yeah, so what's the deal?
I
with
didn't
it?
make that shit. No, someone else made them like from home. It's not like some like mass-produced
What's
crap.
scented
So they didn't
Body
give you
Shop
just
or
like a
whatever.
ball of wax. You have to remelt
Yeah,
it
so-
into your own candle shape.
So my idea of Etsy is that everything is made out of breast milk. I don't know why. But,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
was that true or false?
It's not entirely out of breast milk. I
It's
mean,
like-
it's candles. Like,
It's
could be
a
breast milk. In it.
60-40 wax breast milk mix.
Yeah, and then like
sweet.
some caramel and shit.
Oh,
Makes
sweet,
it burn
man.
longer.
Yeah, fucking name.
And then yeah, so that's what me and my brother got her, and then my sister got her flowers or something generic and shitty because she's poor and poor.
Well, that's that's
She's
fair
not poor.
enough.
She just saves all her money and then spends it on nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
Like she doesn't have the internet.
Saving.
why does
Wow.
what really?
Yeah,
How
like
does
she comes to my parents' place and uses their internet. I'm like, Leah, you're
Is she
you're
like,
going to people
whoa?
who are 60-year-olds.
Does she have
to
it on her
use their
phone?
internet.
Does she have like access on her phone?
She has access on her phone, but she's only got like a 1 gig plan or something. And like, hey, Lee, she got a dongle. She got a dongle, and like the reception was shit. And then she's like, no, fuck it.
Damn. So she
Ah.
like she looks at the internet at your parents' house. It's like, oh, the internet's changed.
No,
yeah,
she doesn't.
someone's updated it.
No, she like knows how to download stuff. She just doesn't do it anywhere except my parents' place.
No, fair enough,
But
man.
she wants
It
them
was
to
so
incur the
annoying when I used to
responsibility.
live there because she just rock up and fuck the bandwidth up like
Yeah, that's
crazy,
right,
and
yeah.
then I just turn off the wireless, and she gets fucking so mad.
Well, I wouldn't you? You coming
Yeah.
home to use the internet and you get disabled from the
Yeah, but the
internet.
funniest thing was she didn't know why. She was like, "Why isn't that down?" I'm like,
Man, you're a
Like,
terrible brother.
I don't know.
"Don't
I
fuck
don't-
with my gaming, man."
Yeah, mine's fine.
It's the rules. That's
One-
why we got the high-speed cable now, so we don't have to fucking deal with that shit.
1 gigabyte of data per what month or whatever is unbelievable. That's not living conditions for a modern person.
Yeah, man.
We have a terabyte.
And do you ever pump that at all? Does that get close?
No,
No, no
we
way.
wouldn't have the space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose that's the
We get a
biggest
hard drive every month.
I think we fit like 500 once.
That's pretty good. That's
pretty
pretty
good.
solid.
Yeah.
I think
That was when Sid was around as well.
Yeah. We
Steam
spent all day
sales are
downloading.
usually the killer for me.
You heard about that guy who, you know how like
Oh yeah.
Telstra, when we used to have the 10 gig plan,
Oh,
they
the
had
free
the free
day.
day. Yeah, on his free day, because apparently it's still a thing, he
Yeah,
completely went to
terabyte.
town on it and downloaded a terabyte of data
And
in,
then
like,
he
in
ended
one
up
day.
getting hired by
Yeah, then he
them.
got hired by them to test their new network. So, makes no sense. It's just
Yeah.
like, hey man, and he even admitted to
Your
be-
downloading skills are so
Yeah.
good.
No, but like all these like journalists like interviewed him. They're like, oh, you know what did you download? Tell us your skills. Like, oh, like downloaded movies and TV shows. He's like, don't say that, man. What are you doing? Like, you're incriminating yourself. But yeah, and then Telstra hired him to be like, all right, let's test our network, see what it can do. Which again, it's just like anyone can do that.
Yeah,
You don't have to
yeah.
hire this guy.
Well, I mean, good on him. He's really putting his skills to good use
Yeah,
there.
He knows how to download Game
Now
of
he can
Thrones a lot.
download. Yeah, he can get straight from the source at Telstra. Good on him. That's fantastic.
That's pretty good.
I don't know if that would be a good life to lead or not, though.
What? Just downloading?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I can't. You need a break from a computer every now and again. You
I
gotta-
don't know, man. I work on a computer all day at work, and I come home and play games on a
Yeah,
computer.
I know what you're saying.
And then I sleep and dream about games.
Yeah, yeah.
You're currently sitting in front of one of my computers.
How many do you have?
3.
That's too
I
much.
have a
man.
work one, that one. And
Give
my
one to your
PC.
sister.
No, she has a computer. She doesn't have the internet. Can't
Why
just
does-
give her a computer.
why-
and be like,
okay.
here's the internet, Leo.
Yeah, but why does she have a computer if she doesn't have the internet? What's she doing with it?
Watching the shit she downloads from my parents' house.
I was gonna say we could download like a good portion every month and just give it to her.
That's what I do for her birthday. It's the best. I just download like seasons upon seasons of Grand Designs and and shit like that.
Hey man,
and then
Grand
just give it
Designs
to
is
her on a
awesome.
USB that I buy.
It
And
is.
she's like, sick, now I've got another USB and a whole shit ton of shit to watch.
It's like the days.
And then I don't have to pay anything.
when we were in high school, there was like that period of time before
yeah.
everyone else knew how to download things, and we're on the front line of that shit because we really wanted to watch Heroes. NBC's Heroes, a fine television show,
Great show.
for the first like 15 episodes. And we became like pseudo drug dealers for
Yeah.
the school. Just like
Interchanging parts.
we were like hanging out and we were like, oh, pass me a USB, bro. And then people were like, oh, you got the new episode? And I'd be like, no, but I can recap an episode for you if you want. And they were
Yeah.
like, all right, tell me your tale.
Tell me what happens
I-
2 seasons
no,
in the future.
No joke, I fucking did. It was a very strange day.
I remember there was the
different time.
one kid who had the rapid share account.
Oh yes, that was
And,
the
and
best.
everyone fucking got the
Pickle.
details somehow.
Yeah, that's right.
Pickle gave us all the details, and everyone just downloaded the internet.
Yeah, it's
Good-
fantastic.
good times.
time. But video games, let's talk about video games before we let this podcast get too long in the tooth.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Tooth.
long in the tooth. That's an expression, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I don't know what it means.
We also didn't cover like what you guys got for your parents, or what Simon did at least.
Yeah.
Oh,
It would have been the
sorry.
shit for your mom because you got like how many siblings?
6 siblings.
Yeah, man. That's
Yeah.
a
Dude,
fucking.
what did
Yeah,
she- what did
well,
she
we
score?
got her a whole bunch of stuff because it was her birthday, like
Oh, man.
4 days
Cha-ching.
earlier as well. We got a new kettle, some
Nice.
some booze, some CDs, a
You
candle.
can pour the booze into the kettle, light
Yeah,
the
light
candle.
the candle.
and
Yeah.
listen to
And-
the CDs.
Hey, done.
Perfect night.
Big night.
And some other stuff that I can't remember that other people got her.
Candles seems to be like the hot thing.
Your
Like,
candles are
mums-
always the hot
mums
thing.
love candles.
Really?
Especially if they're made of 60% breast milk.
I don't understand candles.
As long as it's not their own.
You don't understand
I
candles?
understand candles. I don't understand the.
They're good when they smell good.
I guess, but like,
I think they
They're
just
fire
get really
hazards,
into having
Simon.
Oh, they
long
are.
baths.
They
They're
are.
a fire
they're a
hazard.
fire hazard.
Yeah, no, they are. But you have to be. You just got to be careful about it, you know.
I
And
guess.
a nice smelling candle does wonders for smelly rooms.
For the
others.
yes.
They prolong. They put menopause.
They
They
what?
extend
They-
the length before you
Oh,
get
d-
menopause.
Oh, okay.
For menopause.
Yeah,
And
that's the shit.
that's a scientific fact.
Yeah, proven.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
from Dr. Cave.
Excellent. I'm
Right here.
glad. I'm glad.
Excellent.
I've got one which smells like
PhD.
I think it's like lime and caramel in my room. It's the best.
I have salted
Wait,
caramel.
like
Salted
great.
caramel?
Lime and caramel in one flavor, or one lime and one caramel.
It's one candle.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly
Lime
what it
and
is.
caramel sounds like a really
sounds
strange.
weird, yeah.
mix.
Whatever it is, it's fucking delicious. So I
Very
won't hear you
hilarious.
knocking my candle.
Would you eat it?
Oh, definitely, absolutely. Put
Well-
that into like a body butter style thing, and
Oh,
I'll be wolfing it down for sure.
It'd be pretty funny if it was two candles and you're like that into candles. You're like starting a new meta.
Yeah.
You're like, no, I'm combining my candle
Combining
flavors.
candles.
Have you seen-
Like, do
No,
two at
There,
once.
there are like multi-layered candles. You know,
yeah,
you
but
can
they're
get,
like
like-
they're like
what-
not two at once.
What's they
like,
burn
tryna-
like the chocolate part and then the
Yeah,
vanilla
yeah.
part?
Yeah, they're layered like that. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You can make your own candles, man. Get into
out of
that.
breast milk.
Exactly.
So on Etsy,
but only
to me.
60%.
Yeah. That's
But you
the
can
first
charge
part.
top dollar on Etsy. That's the thing, man. You could be,
No,
you
you
could
can't.
be, you know, you
I mean, you
totally-
can, but who
Nobody's
would buy
gonna
it?
buy it.
I'll be
yeah.
honest, they were like $15. So they were pretty
That's,
cheap,
that's
and there were
top
three of
dollar
them.
for a candle.
Three of them.
Okay, that's not top dollar for a candle. That's
Anyway, let's
quality.
talk about video games like
Yeah.
candles. What the fuck?
Coming to
candle
this week for our
podcast.
candle update.
Yeah, man. Kobolds. Here we go.
Yeah.
There's a
Hey,
segue.
kobolds.
Kobolds are in games.
Yep.
Kobolds like candles.
Yes,
Kobolds-
exactly.
Why do kobolds
brought
like
it back.
I suppose it's dark.
Yeah,
They're in mines.
yeah, and they're in mines. Yeah, they're
makes
gonna
sense.
do their things. So we've all been playing pretty much one video game this week. We kind of fell into a pit of homogeny this week, and it is a game you've heard about before. It's Overwatch.
Yes.
Yes, we watched over
The
a lot.
open beta.
Yeah, so the open beta happened this weekend. It was a funky fresh time. Anyone could get in and
Still
stress
going for
test.
another day.
Not when this comes out.
Yeah, so by the
Oh,
time
yeah.
by the time you've heard this, it will have concluded. But we've got like another day in us to check it out and
Yep.
play some more. But we all logged a lot of time over the weekend.
Yeah,
I-
it was awesome. Like
12 hours.
Yeah.
12 hours.
12 hours.
Whoa.
Like us and all of our gamer friends all just dove right into that pool and got fucking
Except
deep.
Rob.
Except Rob, yeah.
So yeah, one of our friends fell into one of the big problems that some people are having.
Yeah.
And that's if you don't have a 64-bit operating system, you
the
can't play
game.
Overwatch.
Which I thought was really strange.
Yeah, I think
Like-
they had some post explaining exactly why.
I'm
but-
assuming it's just because, like, you know, like my understanding was what serious gamer doesn't have a 64-bit
Precisely,
operating
yeah,
system,
precisely.
but also like
massive
yeah.
noobs like Rob.
It was just so funny how he sent us a message, kind of just being like, "What do?"
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like it was just like you cannot play us because you don't have a 64-bit operating
Everyone
system.
laughed at him.
I was halfway through typing the
Poor Rob.
HAs in my last,
Yes.
and then other last
Same.
appeared. It was great, but yeah. So that's one caveat. If you do have a 64-bit operating system, like
Get on that.
99% of the other gamers out there, you can indeed play it or could,
Hmm.
and that's what we did. Yeah, 12 hours. That's a lot of time, man. But
Yeah, man.
I mean, I probably did log a good chunk as well, maybe 8, but not as
Played
much as
like
you guys.
Yeah.
80% of that on one hero as well.
Yeah. Doing your
Like-
patented invoker strategy.
Yep. Hey, man, it works.
Yeah, so Jamie maining Genji, who is
Genji.
a ninja
He's the
looking
ninja.
motherfucker.
I picked him because he was the first character in the list, and
He
I'm like,
actually is,
I'm like, I'm gonna pick one character. I'm gonna get good at him, and then I'll play some other ones.
So Overwatch is, just to make sure we're all on the same page, we have discussed it before, but to quickly recap, it's a class-based team shooter, or first-person shooter. It's not always going to be shooting, but it's first-person,
Mostly.
six-a-side capture point,
Yeah.
largely influenced by games like TF2.
Pretty much. It seems to pretty much be TF2 with some abilities thrown in here and there. Like,
Yeah.
it's even ripped off the TF2 art style
Yep.
hugely.
And to the point they're like, hey, let's do comics, and let's do meet the
Yeah.
classes and shit.
Yep,
but
yep.
hey, look, that's what Blizzard does best. They steal other people's ideas and put their
Yeah.
own polish on it.
Yep. That's what they did
I
last
don't think it
time.
was like too much like Valve in terms of meet the classes. I feel like they are slowly telling a story of the universe.
They are,
are.
yeah. And the story of the universe sounds fucking awesome.
It
Yeah,
really
that's pretty
does.
cool.
It
Like-
kind of came together in that Tracer and Widowmaker one, the short where Tracer's
Oh, yeah, that
trying-
was really cool.
And
yeah.
it looked, the political assassination and
Mm,
stuff. It does look like a really cool universe. I've said it before, but I do want to see what the fully realized universe.
Absolutely.
is
I mean,
Yeah.
it sounds like, all the heroes have backstories and they're kind of intertwined, and there is this overarching backstory, like the universe going on. So I'll be interested to see what they do.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting platform for like I suppose, more modern political commentary, or not necessarily just political commentary, just meta commentary on society at large, because it's the first thing that's set in a future which is, it's not too far removed from ours. Whereas like something like StarCraft is their only other IP which is set in modern to future times, and that is like, oh cool, we are in a separate
space.
You know, we were a group of humans that kind of got shot off into another side of space, very similar to EVE Online actually, and that's the only human race we have to relate to, and they're super militaristic, and they don't really go too heavily into the lore of that world.
No. This kind of seems like, like give it 100 years or so, and maybe not even that long, but we have AI basically, and we have good tech, and
I played as much as I could around my commitments.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it's one of those things that it does have that
That
you know, that Blizzard crack.
Yeah, it does.
Blizzard crack.
It
Blizzard.
tickles all my G spots.
Yeah.
By G, I mean gaming, of course. Guys, come on. Mine are better.
PG.
Steve Jobs is coming for
But
you.
yeah, it's like it's got like that kind of short thing that Rocket League has that like you don't get too frustrated because it's not a long game.
Yeah.
No,
it has
yeah.
the crack.
So what? Like
Yeah.
games are they're probably about 5-10 minutes each.
Yeah. Some
on
are
how good
shorter,
your
some are
defense is.
longer.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose like the max and on a long map would maybe be like 10, 15.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd say that's probably true.
Yeah.
Probably accurate.
but I've played games where it's been over in a minute and a half.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
It's
where you can just steamroll.
Yeah.
I guess that is the thing with having probably less players than in a, like, say, a TF2 map sort of thing. You're obviously not going to go as long.
Precisely.
Absolutely, yeah.
And
Yeah.
because I'd just like to talk about that for a second as well. The reduced player count has some really interesting effects on the game. Now, obviously, it having these big ultis, these huge power swings are possible, where you can have like, oh, cool, we've got this point on lockdown, everything's cool. There's no chance of them coming in to break us. Oh shit, there's a Junkrat ulti,
yeah.
which is coming in, is going to fuck up our team immediately.
Yeah.
Until you learn how to deal with that. Which interestingly enough, over the 12 or 6 hours
Yeah,
or however
we
much we
definitely
played,
learned how to deal with a lot of it.
yeah, like I didn't realize you can. One of the coolest moments was where I accidentally hooked one of the Junkrat ultis, and it came towards me as
shot
the Pudge character, and I shot it. It killed it, and I was like, "That was
So,
fucking cool,
so
man."
to me, like this is what is really exciting about the game. Like it has a lot of parallels with Dota in that it's 6v6, so Dota's 5v5. And the thing with Dota is like if you are fighting someone else, or like the team comes to kill you somewhere else because you're causing a ruckus or potentially going to be dangerous, and they kill you. But then the rest of your team can do something. You're like, space created, man.
Yeah,
and
exactly,
this has the same effect. Like, I've been playing the ninja type person, and I'll find myself sort of a lot of time fighting like 2 or 3 people away from everyone, just not really doing anything, like hitting them a little bit, but just dodging mostly and running around, just being a dick, and kind of being like, I haven't really achieved anything. I haven't killed them.
Yeah.
But they're not on the card, or they're not on the capture point attacking you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
So now it's 5v3 or 5v4, and like, and that makes a big difference.
Absolutely, it's the implication of like it's employing the day 9 strategy of like, hey, if you're gonna die slowly.
Yeah.
Make them commit
Exactly.
to killing you, which is again a huge deal because 6 people is a small player count. By
Yeah.
getting a double kill, that's a third of their team gone.
And to go further into that, like, so Dota is awesome. Like, we love it so much because of all these like synergizing abilities, like ultimates combining together to cause like huge team fights, and like this has the same potential. Like, so as you just said, like Junkrat has this ulti where he basically he gets a wheel which he gets to control, and he rolls it through, and he can control it, and then he can choose when to detonate it. So he could roll it into a group of like all of you and kill all of you. And at the beginning of the game, we're like, this is so fucking annoying because
how do we deal with it? What do we
you just
do?
hear it coming. You're like, oh shit, run, and then we're all dead. But then, you know, as you said, you learned how to deal with it with a Pudge, and like there's another character who can create shields, and like Matt was playing her, and she just put a shield on, run into it, take all the damage, and then it happens that this character actually gets energy from taking damage, so it actually kind of uses his ultimate against him.
Yeah.
And then like there's other ultimates like the Bastion ult, like I can deflect it, which so if he ults, I just deflect it and kill him, and like.
There's a rock, paper, scissors element to the balance, which is
Hmm.
actually really quite fun. I don't know if it's perfectly balanced yet. Obviously, it's still considered a
think it's
beta.
Yeah, there are some heroes that are just trash compared to others.
Yeah. So, like, obviously, Jamie did mention Bastion and there being potential counters to him, but at the moment, there's a hero which is a robot which has the ability to morph down into a static turret that, however, can rotate around and morph out of that at will. Can also repair itself. And it does a huge amount of damage.
Yeah.
Insane amount of
That
damage.
being said, like
a long distance as well.
Yeah.
Like now I'm finding if there's a Bastion on the team and I'm playing Genji, I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Food, man.
Because again,
Like, this is
you
delicious.
mentioned Pudge before. For those who haven't played it, Roadhog is the name of the character, and we call it Pudge because he has a hook similar to the Pudge character in Dota, who can then pull characters towards him. That is the best when I have a set up sentry turret man. I'm just like, hey, come to me, buddy.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of fun, man. So learning to deal with that stuff and learning to deal with the things which are considered kind of overpowered and bullshit at the start of the game, it's probably part of the fun of it, I'd say.
It does make me wonder though, like, so obviously the game is going to grow. They'll probably add more heroes, I guess, and patch things. I wonder how the patching is going to work, say, in relation to Dota. So like Dota, they change a few variables here and there, and it shifts the meta completely.
Yeah.
Are we going to see the same thing? Like, because they wanted to make this an esport. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they're gonna like edit the maps or like add new ones or new heroes or whatever.
I think they've said they're going
Damage
to add new heroes. I'd be surprised if they didn't also add new
I
maps.
yeah.
Um,
And you know, like, so there's a map.
They're definitely going to add new maps.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
100%.
You're right,
They've
Like,
said that.
there's a map called Ilios, which basically it's a capture point, and you have to it's a control point.
It's King of the Hill.
King of the Hill.
King of the
is
Hill,
what I'm
basically,
saying.
yeah.
King of the Hill. So you have to hold it as long as possible. And there's one hero who just seems to be so fucking good at it, which is Lucio.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Lucio being a support, which has a big area of effect heal, kind of pumping out all at once.
He's great.
So basically,
Yeah.
like in this area you're trying to defend, if you get there and you don't die, you just sit there and your team is constantly being healed, and they just defend it, and then you have your ultimate, which heals them even more, and like it's
Gives them a big
yeah.
shield.
So there's definitely maps that lend themselves to certain heroes.
Anything with an like a ledge that you can knock people off.
Yeah,
Lucio.
Yeah. He's so fun, man. Knocking people off edges is the
Yeah.
greatest thing in that game.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And I like the reason I've been playing Genji so much is because I honestly think one of his abilities is deflect, which is basically like full counter.
Yeah.
Like counters everything that is a projectile.
Yeah.
And it is so good.
I saw a GIF today of someone deflecting in the air. He was jumping through the air. A Widowmaker sniped him.
Yeah.
And he just turned around, deflected at the perfect time, sniped straight back at the
Yeah.
Widowmaker.
I've done that. Like,
and killed her.
and like that is so satisfying. Like once Hanzo, who his ultimate is like shoots
can
this
deflect
giant
that,
dragon
yeah.
thing. He was about to shoot it, and I got in front of him, and I saw like the little blue tip, so I deflected, and I shot it back at him.
Yeah.
Holy shit! You can deflect his
Yeah,
ulti?
deflect his
And
ultimate.
you can,
Yeah.
as long as you hit the arrow that he shoots.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can
Oh,
deflect.
So I
so
deflected,
cool.
instantly
Yeah.
killed him, and then killed like two people behind him, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
That's so
amazing.
sick.
yeah.
So I do wonder how far, speaking of the competitive side of this game, how far it will go, what they'll do with it, because they have had initially they were like, hey, here's a competitive game mode we're introducing, which is going to be tiered, similar to something like StarCraft was or Hearthstone is, with like once you get to the top level, you then get you get the ability to effectively see your MMR once you're at the top level.
Yep.
And up until just before the open beta started, that was slated to be a monthly reset.
Oh,
monthly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which
That's very
is
quick.
super shitty in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
what
think
they
it should be a bit longer, maybe like every 3-4 months.
yeah. See,
Yeah.
I can get behind something like that where there's a bit more permanence
6
to
months.
it, but a month is just too short. That's what they've done for Hearthstone. And
Mm.
Hearthstone's a shorter game and arguably something with, a more casually oriented
I was going to
audience.
say, is this like their attempt to mix the casual and competitive scenes?
Maybe. And I mean, realistically, what Overwatch is trying to get, as many casual people into a game like this as possible. But, realistically, I don't think that's... I mean, at the very least, there's been a lot of feedback from the community saying, hey, please don't do this. And they then said, hey, we're going to rework the competitive system just before the open beta. But speaking of balance and speaking of how they're going to handle the game in general, one thing that I'm a little concerned about is that, hey, man, it's Blizzard. Like, Blizzard are slow, and Blizzard don't necessarily move in the best ways for us in terms of our style of gameplay. We want competition, we want real raw and really good competition, and they don't have a good history of that.
Yeah.
I think it will eventually burn down to just like the same, like maybe 10 or so heroes just getting played.
Probably.
See, I don't know about that because
And it's
as
like
Jamie,
this synergy between them. I don't know. It's kind of you
as
have to
Jamie
figure it
just
out.
said, like I think the maps are pretty disparate, and so as a result, there are certain heroes which actually just are like, hey,
Lend themselves to a map.
Yeah, like I've been playing a lot of that Roadhog character, and there are certain maps where it's like I just won't have any usefulness whatsoever. Whereas there are other ones where I'm on fire 95%.
Yeah, and then same with like Genji. Like some, like the really open maps, I'm useless because he's a ninja, so he's all about like climbing over things and getting behind people. So yeah, that's
Unless you're
true.
May.
Yeah, man.
Fucking-
May is the fucking best.
May
May
is-
is unstoppable. May is literally invincible.
She's basically
Actually,
Crystal Maiden.
I saw the best play of the game of May the other day. Have you guys looked at like any of the
I should really subscribe to the subreddit.
the subreddit that it's majority of it is just literally the play of the game. But
gifs,
it's one
yeah.
where she comes into a whole team. She's on the defensive team, a whole attacking team on a point, capturing it, throws her ulti into the middle of the team.
Which is like a freezing field.
yeah. While everyone starts shooting her, she just goes into her
Yeah, that's what you do. You
ice
throw
thing.
down, you ice, and
Yeah,
they
and
can't
then
do anything.
they can't do anything. They all get
Frozen.
and then she just comes out of it and like headshots them all with the thing and kills them. It was
That's
amazing.
awesome, man. The game does an incredibly good job of making you feel amazing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's very satisfying when you do something well.
Because
Oh,
there
totally.
are there are 21 heroes, 21 skill sets to learn. Is it 21 heroes?
21 heroes.
Yeah, 21 heroes, 21 skill sets to learn, and there's cool things to like things you won't necessarily have on the surface. There's a skill curve there for each
Yeah.
of those heroes to learn little cool things, like, for example, reflecting an ulti. I didn't realize you could do that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I keep learning things every day. Like, I mean, granted, I've only played it for 12 hours.
But 12 hours is a pretty significant amount of time. You gotta remember,
Yeah, I mean, another really exciting thing about the game is, like, we've had a lot of games that have just been so insanely close. And, like any competitive game, a close game is an exciting game.
Absolutely.
And like, especially with, like, the way this game sort of seems to work is if you're about to win or they're about to win and you're on the point/payload or whatever, contesting whatever they're trying to do to win the game, it goes into overtime. And then it gives you sort of 10 seconds maybe?
I think it depends on how many people are on it. Because I've seen it go super quickly if nobody's on it.
But it gives you like a couple of seconds to sort of be like, all right, if you can just hold and survive and stay alive, your team will come up again and they can fight again. And like we've had a few really clutch moments where they've been about to win and we've just managed to push them back and then win the game. And like that's really satisfying.
Starting to like having to learn every hero's ultimate and what it can do and how powerful it is and how that's really an important thing to pay attention to. And so now we're running in saying, the Mercy ult has been used, go! Or like, we're paying attention to the fact that, hey, this person's used this ability recently, we can't kill that person. Because something like a Mercy ulti is, again, in a situation like we were just talking about where everyone's holding the point, can be the game-winning move.
So that basically reses everyone who just died.
Yeah, so that can be, and those moments can be so fucking cool. They can be
completely
so
negate
exciting.
somebody else's ult or something like that. It's very useful.
Yeah, watching that in a play of the game as well, where it's just like the team's all dead but Mercy, and then he just revives them all, and suddenly army.
I would like to see, speaking of the play of the game, what do you guys think of it at the moment? How are you feeling about it?
I feel like the algorithm's a bit fucked up.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it seems to work on how much damage is done in the shortest amount of time. So it's always either a Junkrat or a Bastion.
Yeah,
it
does do healing, but yeah, I totally agree. Like, and the same thing, like again, like Genji, like a lot of the time, I feel like I do awesome plays.
Yeah.
But no one ever sees them because I'm around the back doing nothing, and it's like.
You see, I wonder how much of that is like, because I feel the same. Like, part of me is like, maybe I'm just not playing as well, comparatively with everyone else. Maybe the other side of the coin is like, I'm doing well over a longer period of time.
Yeah. So you don't have any one moment.
Yeah, so what I'd really like them to see, if this would be possible, is I saw it suggested on the subreddit, hey, why don't we have the vote first and then the play of the game afterwards, based on who you vote. And on top of that, maybe as a side idea would be, hey, rather than just a one moment, because I'm already kind of sick of like, hey, it was a triple kill with a Bastion.
Yeah,
cool.
again.
It was an ulti that is obviously designed to be powerful. It doesn't necessarily show any amount of skill. But if I could see, hey, this person got the most amount of eliminations, maybe it'll just randomly select a whole bunch, or the ones which were.
I suppose, I mean, there's got to be a way to do it. It's got to be hard. But
I thought like, hey,
really cool.
they should just have a Blizzard employee just watching every game, and then they're like, all right, that was that one. Yeah.
I mean, that is the thing. It tends to be, instead of play of the game, it's ult of the game.
Yeah,
really.
totally.
Like, I mean, there's been so many times where I've seen, or possibly even myself has like. I felt like I've done an awesome play and it didn't involve my ult.
Yeah.
That being said, like
someone gets a double kill with their ult, and that's what happens.
Yeah, and I think it also revolves around like the objective. So objective kills are a massive part of this game. So there's eliminations where you just kill someone, but then there's objective eliminations, which is when like if they're on the cart or the control point and you kill them, you get an objective elimination. So they seem to carry more weight.
Absolutely.
The thing for that is though, I swear I've never seen one that involves like the last like half a minute of the like capture point, or the last half a minute of someone like someone defending a cart.
Yeah, so I know exactly what you mean, because there have been a couple
like
of times.
circumstantial as well. Like if there's like one guy versus like 4 people or something, and they win, that should be like the fucking.
Exactly.
I've definitely seen situations like that. So the algorithm's excluding it, but I know exactly what you mean, because there was a couple of times where I have pulled a move which, if I didn't get that off perfectly, the game was over, and it was like we only managed to succeed because of that exact moment. It would be awesome if the game could be able to recognize
work that out. And again, that's got to be hard to
very
program.
difficult. Yeah, so like I don't blame them, but hey.
That being said, like, so the other thing the game does, and we've talked about this before, but like after the play of the game, it gives you like pretty much always four heroes out of the game who did like the most eliminations, the most healing, or some significant part of the game that is worthy of credit, and then you get to vote on that using 1 vote per person, and then if they get 5, they get like epic, which I'm assuming gives you extra experience.
There's another one you get 12. I can't remember what it is.
Oh, okay,
really?
I haven't seen that, but
like I was playing a bot game, and if you vote on yourself, I think all the bots literally just vote for you anyway.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, but anyway, so I was playing a game just by myself, and we just completely steamrolled, and like at the end of the game, I had like the most eliminations, and the play of the game went to like a Bastion or a Jungrat. And it was a cool moment, but again, it was just like run of the mill, like yeah, whatever. And then after the game, like someone on the other team was like, I won the game for them, and I was like, oh, thanks, man. And then like everyone voted for me, and I was like, that's pretty
It's a
nice.
nice
I like
moment.
that. Yeah,
It's cool when at the even if you do win or you do lose, whatever the case is, that you can kind of pass out kudos at the end, especially because like they did in fact alter the play of the game algorithm to try to take into account healing and non-kill specific things a bit more a couple of weeks ago or a month or two ago. But it's still not quite there yet because there are games where it's like, man, that healer worked
that was
out
huge.
ass off.
Yeah.
And at the end of the
I've
match,
like killed it as a Lucio and fucking got nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'm like, man. And here's like the coolest intros to the highlights.
I
as well.
know.
Yeah.
Dat boy.
So that's another thing we should probably mention in the game. It has a lot of like cosmetics and unlockables and things, which is just another like crack Blizzard substance. Like
They've definitely made the
Hat.
They basically passed the game
hats,
off
yeah.
to their gambling and addiction specialists, and they're like, "All right, fill this with everything you can."
but it's got me, man. Like,
Yeah.
I like, especially heroes I like. Same as Dota. I'm like, I want this cosmetic,
Absolutely,
or I
yeah.
want this victory pose, and like, I want this tag, this spray, even like, which is something I've never cared about
I
before.
think we got to revisit and highlight the fact that you're never going to have to pay for heroes. You're never going to have
Thank
to pay
God.
for maps.
Definitely.
Heroes of the Storm shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I've said this to people on the weekend. I'm like, if they ever do go back on that,
That'll be
I'm
it,
out.
yeah.
Like,
That's-
regardless of how much time I invested, I'm not doing
Yeah,
that.
obviously that we're not necessarily representative of everyone, but man, that would kill it for me in
Yeah.
a second.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad that's not the case. And I, already have been like, would I pay some money to get a thing?
Yeah,
I'm like,
I've been thinking
yeah.
about it, to be honest, and I'm like, oh, I feel dirty.
Josh is
But
probably listening to this podcast, being like, "You motherfuckers!" But yeah, that's
Blizzard chill.
yeah, that's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much it. But no, excellent game, and I think that probably wraps up everything
Yeah,
we got to say.
I mean,
about
like
it.
the only other thing I was gonna say is so there's been like I think 2 games in my gaming history that have done this to me, and this has done the same thing in that I've had dreams about just playing the character I've been playing and like trying to perfect the thing, and then I wake up and I'm like, oh shit. and so I had like Saturday and Sunday night, both nights I just dreamed about playing Genji.
Oh,
and
well,
like
that's
so
amazing, man.
WoW was the other one and Dota was the other one. So
Yeah.
Well done,
don't play those games without knowing your limits first, because man, that shit is way too good.
Yeah.
it's crack.
I think when it comes out,
Yeah.
it'll be something that enters like the Rocket League and Dota thing for me.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It was one of the regular games I
Yeah.
played.
Look, yeah, honestly,
So it has
definitely.
that kind of competitive edge to it. And
just
it's
looking
fun.
at the way that like our group of friends is a really good litmus test for me in terms of how games are going to do competitively, or at least in the general long run, because we don't necessarily all take to a game that easily. And when it does happen, like I didn't expect it, as Jamie did say earlier on,
not at all.
to be as huge of a hit as it was. Like I was kind of expecting to have to work a bit in order to get everyone to play the
Yeah.
game. But came home, there's like 8 people on fucking Mumble.
And I think that's credit to the free open beta.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like-
I mean,
Yeah.
hey, good marketing. That's
Yeah.
what an open beta is, and they did a
They
fantastic
did do
job.
a good
of it.
job.
It's because especially like we extended the beta.
Yeah.
And it's like, bitch, you'd planned this from day one. There's no way you extend the
By
beta.
that
one
shit.
day.
Yeah, it's all just for
Or
marketing's
two.
sake. But hey, it's going to be
It is Blizzard.
exactly. Yeah, they're not going to have
It's a
any
huge
troubles
company.
making their game successful. I was thinking about how competitive an esports will go, because it's going to be an esport whether or not you want it to be or not.
Are they going to pay people to play it again?
Probably, man. I mean,
say
they
I'll
probably
do it.
already are.
Pay me, Blizzard.
Maybe we'll get.
We're not
Tastosis on it.
Blizzard shields.
No, definitely not.
Oh shit, you're
Yeah,
right.
they
We
might
could
get
totally get
Tastosis.
Tastosis casting.
I wonder what a cast of that, like a professional game, would
I
be
had
like.
a look at one today.
Oh, really?
Entirely play by play.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, they had a free camera. They were walking around,
Okay.
flying around and talking shit. I didn't really listen to most of it because I was at work, but it did seem like standard.
I mean, yeah, there's some pretty big plays that happen. So
I think that how easy it is to make a first person shooter esports happen, just because they're not as readable.
no.
Because you can view it from top down, but that's not the way the game was innately designed. Unless maybe they did design it with that in mind. I don't know. Maybe it is quite readable.
I think it'd be very easy to miss a lot of plays.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely, yeah.
yeah.
How are you going to be able to pay attention to the action?
Constant
Yeah.
sniper
I
vision.
know they kind
Yeah.
of thought about it in that they have like the control point in the car, so that would obviously be like
Oh,
the
yeah,
focus
yeah.
of it. But like you could obviously move around. I don't know, kind of hard to do with all the indoor parts as well.
I
Oh,
think
no.
you need more than one spectator. I
Yeah.
think that's the answer. I think
Yeah.
you need to have
like
maybe
a sport cut between the
Yeah, exactly.
cameras.
You need to
Yeah.
have 2 or 3 people paying attention to what's going on, and hey, if a Tracer's pushing around the back, keep an eye on it. And when he's about to flank a certain person, press a button that cuts to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have a control desk.
Have you guys ever watched any TF2 professional?
Not a lot.
Yeah, I've seen.
I've seen a couple, yeah, and they do that pretty well.
Okay,
At least
cool.
when I saw that, like, you'd have a scout going around the back and
Yeah.
then cut to that person for a short time quickly.
Sweet,
and then,
sweet. Yeah, okay.
I don't know. I'd be interested
No.
to see because I mean, obviously, like the other two esports I've watched have been StarCraft and Dota, and both of which games I'd been invested in before I watched it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Like,
Yeah. We'll see what happens there because I do like to imagine that it could be successful.
Yeah.
but-
and
And I
like,
think like the biggest players will be the ones where they get all their ultis together and they push the card.
yeah,
and they'll be
absolutely.
Like,
Yeah.
You can watch that from like a wide angle up top.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
sick.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially
speak, like
highlights.
I feel like we should probably mention the map design as well, though. So like,
Yeah. So
Yep.
general map design,
It's-
art style, and everything is out of this
beautiful.
fucking world, man.
really
Yeah.
good.
Do you have a favorite map?
I like the it's a payload and it starts in a city and it's the one that starts with the bells.
Lijiang? No, is that Lijiang?
Oh, that's
Tower?
El Dorado, isn't it?
Is that
Yeah,
Eldorado?
yeah, that would be it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably one
Mexico.
of my favorite ones.
Because
Yeah.
do you like it because of the bells? Or?
Oh,
I like it because of
100%.
the bells. The bells are pretty good.
If
But
they took those out,
Oh,
but I
man.
like it because it's like it's like an upward climb. So again, playing the one hero I've been playing, I can just climb everywhere. I get around places really easy, and like it's a lot of fun. Hollywood's really good as well.
Yeah, really nice.
I gotta say
realised
that they've like hit the themes as well. Like every different map is like a different
Yeah, it's
city or
distinct.
whatever.
Yeah,
that's very cool.
Yeah, like the Japanese one, you got so many different like Japanese.
Yeah,
Yeah, they got some
guess-
talented artists.
Yeah.
they
working
do.
there.
Like in the Hollywood one in the spawn room, it starts with some
Yeah.
movie posters. One of which is Hero of the Storm.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
very self-referential. In terms of problems, I don't have that many with the game. I think one of the biggest things that I see as an issue for me is that maybe the guns don't feel powerful. Apart from maybe, say, Roadhog's shotgun, which does feel like it's got a good kick to it, a lot of the guns kind of feel a bit light.
Like you
know?
don't feel like you're shooting them.
No, I feel like they're made of styrofoam. I don't know why. I don't feel like the guns and the shots have a lot of impact from my perspective.
Okay,
In comparison, say just compare it to something like the Scout shotgun. Right?
Yeah, I was gonna say like so
Yeah.
TF2 you think it has a bit more like
Yeah,
weight
it has
to it.
really nice oomph. Like the animations are nice. The explosions that come from the weapons
I can see
feel
that.
really good. You know, the tracer guns aren't necessarily designed to. They're not supposed to have a lot of oomph. But that's a perfect example of something that it really feels like paper, man. It's
Yeah, it
like
does.
I could be
Yeah.
shooting or not shooting, and I don't really necessarily know. Like it's
No, that's true. And I'd even go as far to say like when you take damage sometimes I have no idea where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Like so there's been a couple of times where someone's been behind me shooting me and like I don't know, doesn't seem to be a very clear visual indicator that like you're
Yeah.
taking damage.
So-
And then I'm just like, oh shit, I'm dead.
I think the thing about that is like the width of that red indicator
Yeah.
isn't consistent,
No.
right?
No.
So it's that which I think means that if there is a tracer shooting you from afar, you can actually just not notice.
Yeah.
That could be like a balance decision. That could be like, hey,
Maybe.
we want it to be harder for you to notice damage, which isn't quite as
in your
powerful.
face.
Because when you do get hit by something that's powerful, it is very noticeable.
It
you know?
is,
So it's
yeah.
a huge red thing which appears. So. Hey, maybe a balanced decision, but one of those things that if you're directly comparing, it's like, yeah, maybe they could have made that a bit easier to read. Maybe it could be a bit clearer here or there. But obviously, the game's not perfect. That's the only real big gripe I've got with it.
Yeah. I mean, it's being in open beta. The only other thing I'd say is like the matchmaking, but like again, like we'll have to see
We'll have to
until
see
it
what
actually comes
when
out.
it's actually legit.
Just because there's been games where we've absolutely rolled, and there's games we've been rolled.
Yeah,
And-
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
I think some of the heroes, like at least some of the support ones, like Symmetra, like on anything other than like a control point, and you're on defense.
Yeah.
which is not very good.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the other guy who's the robot dude,
Who the,
Bastion?
the other with the
Oh,
thing around his-
Zenyatta. No,
Zenyatta.
He's so good.
Other than his ulti,
Oh, he's
nah,
pretty good.
he's
yeah.
great.
Nah, I'm with Morgan. He
Yeah?
used to
Really?
be much better, and I think at the
Okay.
moment he's
Okay.
pretty paper.
Because I've seen him wreck people.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, he does a lot of damage, but I think that his skills are kind of shitty at the moment.
Okay.
Like
Really?
Discord Orb and his healing orb are all based around line of sight, and he's only got 150 health.
Yeah.
So if he's out there, he's gonna die.
Look, I think you're right. Like in terms of the supports, like in all of the games I've seen, I've basically either seen Lucio or Mercy.
yeah,
Because those are
I
the
don't
two
think
big
I've
heroes.
I
seen a
don't-
bit of Zenyatta.
I've seen a bit, but it's very heavily favoring.
Oh
the
yeah,
other
Lucio
two.
and Mercy.
Yeah.
Could be a skill ceiling thing. Who knows?
Maybe, yeah. And again, like I've seen people playing the robot dude, whatever his name is.
Zenyatta.
Mr. Robot Man.
Robot Man,
He does,
Arigato.
he does quite a bit of damage.
He
Though.
does.
That's the
Yeah.
thing.
I also don't really understand how he works. 'Cause I haven't played him, and like
Yeah.
he's just like,
Symmetra on a control point defense map though is
Um,
very legit.
yes,
Once you
that is
you
legit.
get up
Yeah.
all 6 of essentially,
Yeah.
so it takes a long time to set them up because
Mm.
like you can only put out 3 initially, and
Yeah,
then you
then
kind
you
of
gotta
have a
wait.
cooldown
Mm.
to create the next bunch.
But the shields are pretty good as well. So like we were playing a game where we had her giving shields as well as like the Engie giving
Full-blown.
armor.
Yeah, I was giving
and,
armor.
Yeah, and everyone just had like an extra 100 health.
That's awesome.
And like that was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what like strategies appear and like, hey, run double Pharaoh with like triple Mercy. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, like black hole into dragon
Yeah, Black
ulti
Hole
and-
into it's a good setup.
Yeah, it's
I'd
really
be interested to see how it like plays out strategically because like there's things like Hanzo ult,
Yep.
which is just like a straight up cone, and then like the fucking I forget the guy's name, McCree.
Oh, fucking High
yes.
Noon.
High
Yeah.
Noon, yeah, like those are ridiculously
I-
powerful, but they're only powerful if you can see them.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that you know when someone's ult is generally like
Yeah, 'cause
it
with McCree
screams
it's
it out.
like
Yeah.
I knew.
They
Yeah,
And
the
then-
telegraphed
sound
it quite
effects
well.
are
yeah,
excellent.
it's, yeah,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, it's a good video game.
No, it is.
It's a good game.
You know, the community itself is getting quite savvy quite quickly, and so
This is true.
it's cool to see how everyone gets a bit better as the beta progresses, and then everything resets in a couple of weeks. It's going to
they're
be a
gonna-
hard couple of weeks.
They're taking all my items away.
Yeah, I know,
And
right?
it's like, hey, you
my
guys like that sweet, delicious premium cocaine?
Yeah.
Well, now you can't have it for 10 days.
Also, the game now costs $300.
Yeah, it's super expensive. That's my other issue with it.
Yeah, did you guys see?
Australia
maybe-
tax.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, but it was it's something like $60 Australian dollars.
No, it's 70. isn't it?
70
70?
Australian.
70
Okay.
for the base.
And
But-
40 US.
But
Yeah.
but then $40 is only like 60 Australian.
Yeah, 50,
Yeah.
So
56 Australian dollars
Yeah.
as of yesterday, and that's fucking
So,
horseshit.
so and the premium version $60 US.
Yep, and so
That's
you
90
know,
Australian.
It's ridiculous. You're looking at a huge amount of Australia
so
tax.
why not
there.
just buy it in US dollars?
Well,
Yeah.
you can't.
You can't.
Very easily. You have to get a VPN and stuff. The other option is to go to some shady ass greyware.
Will they be
sites.
selling it?
Yeah,
'Cause it's-
go
actually,
on.
they probably will.
I could hook you up, though. I could hook you up.
I'm pretty sure I
Okay,
got-
the Origins
Put it in the show
edition with
notes.
all the crazy ass
Shady
fucking-
ass greyware site.
the Origins edition with all the crazy ass skins and shit
Yep.
is $5 cheaper
Oh,
than
shit.
the normal version.
What?
Paying Blizzard prices, right? If you go through this greyware shady ass site.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right,
so-
I'm definitely not going to go there.
Definitely not. But yeah, we should probably talk about some things that aren't Overwatch before this thing gets too long.
Yeah.
So unless anyone else has played anything, raise your hand if you have. Seeing a sea of raised hands, but I'm going to ignore them. And we're going to talk about news.
Oh.
No, we'll start news either way. So how about we start with some
Date night.
Some date night.
Date night.
Date night?
Date 9th. Got it.
Date
It's
night.
the 9th of May today.
Oh. Okay.
All right. It's the
I
9th.
put the date at the top of every show.
It's
Yeah, and
It's
then
also
you don't upload it for 2 weeks. Cool.
It's also not
Hey
good.
man, I'm on top of it now.
Lies.
That's
They're all
Yeah.
there. Go look.
okay.
Except last week's. No, the week before last, I kind of got lazy with a lot of the notes.
Just don't look at them. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's cool.
I replaced them all with pictures of one dog. Different pictures.
Really?
No.
Oh god. So the
But now-
GTX 1080 details
news.
have been. Are we going with 1080 or are we going? With...
I'm calling it 1080.
Okay. All right.
What? 1080?
80, I mean, I don't know. They went 960.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No,
you're
no,
right.
Yeah,
it's a
that's
1080,
right. You
like,
said 960.
I
like that
set my
snowboard.
own trap and I walked
1080
into
snowboarding.
it.
on
Yeah,
the-
exactly.
yeah,
game.
it's like 2007 or
27.
2007. 2010. 2010.
Yeah.
2016,
You pick.
2017. 2017 works.
Do you say 2016 or do you say 2016?
No,
2016.
I say
I say
2016.
2016.
I'd say I'm split down the middle.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck you, get out.
Yeah, sorry. Well,
You
there go.
fence it as you.
Yeah, I say
can't
it in
decide
Roman
on
numerals
anything.
like the Olympics.
I think
I'm like it's X X X X X X X B
M.
2. There's no
MC.
2, sorry.
you're not big on your
I'm not
Roman
Roman
numerals.
enough.
So anyway, I think it's hilarious that it's called the 1080, and it's probably going to be one of the cards which people are using for 4K gaming.
Yeah.
But apart from that, details have come out about it. It's the first card.
Looks pretty fuck good.
It's the new Pascal or Pascal?
I say Pascal.
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 Pascal architecture.
Français.
That's not French, man.
Pascal.
I mean, I suppose I've got
Pascal's
myself to
French.
blame.
Yeah.
But
Pascal.
Yeah, the only Pascal I've ever met is French.
Oh, there you go. Proven.
Yeah.
proven
There
to
we
be
go.
French.
French.
100% French.
Writing it down. Pascal French.
Are NVIDIA
Excellent.
French? Anyway, what is Maxwell? Is Maxwell French? That's the
No,
previous architecture.
Isn't Maxwell named after?
Maxwell sounds British to me.
Maxwell just sounds like the long name for my
Maxwell.
friend called Max.
Isn't it a
Yeah.
scientist?
He Max as well.
There may have been one scientist in known history who's called.
I'm pretty sure they're all named after like famous things.
Yeah,
yeah.
that actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Pascal sounds like something I should know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. But it's Monday
Probably some
night.
French guy.
Correction. Send them in next week.
Send
It's
them in.
fine.
Tell us what we got wrong.
On your emails.
So plenty.
Not you, Matt.
plenty of features, plenty of specs with the new card that I won't bore you with right now. Those will be in the show notes, though. It looks like it's a gigantic upgrade over the existing architecture.
It's pretty big.
And it looks like it's going to be much cheaper, too.
Yeah, so like the 1080, they're saying, I mean, they always say this shit, so how it actually performs in real world tests is to be seen, but they're saying that the 1080 is twice as powerful as the Titan X.
Yeah, which is the top of the line
Which is the
card
Titan,
right now.
which costs $1,000 or $1,200, I think, per card, and this is $600.
Yeah, so I should just make sure we're on top of the fact that we all know that this is a video card we're talking about.
Yeah, this is a video card.
Just in case there's people out there who are confused by what we're talking about. Yeah, video cards that go into your computer.
But that's
and they buy
insane, because that's twice the performance for half the price.
Yeah, it's insane.
Like,
so
That is insane. Why would they do that?
Different architecture.
so
Like
manufacturing process is perhaps easier.
does it have 3D RAM?
It's got
Maybe I remember reading something about.
I can tell you some numbers and letters. It
Yes.
has 8 gigabytes of GDDR5X RAM with a
Maybe that's what it
capacity or a bandwidth of up to 320 gigabytes per second.
Okay,
It's a lot of gigabytes per second.
that's a lot of gigabytes per second.
I mean, I wouldn't know, but it sounds good.
It's probably more than mine does.
Well,
It
definitely,
definitely is. Yes.
definitely is. That's an accurate statement. It's going to be a very VR focused thing as well in terms of it's got the first VR SLI support, so you can have more than one card. I don't know, man. Who knows?
Local
No.
multiplayer.
Exactly, yeah. All
So
in
you
the
guys
same
can run
space.
into each other and shit.
rather than just the walls. So the 1070 is the little brother of the whole thing, which is like what, $379 recommended retail. So that's still pretty good.
It's not bad.
Arguably 2/3 the power of the 1080. So there's still something that is probably going to be more powerful than the
Than the
980.
Titan.
Yeah, fucking
Yeah.
shit, man.
That's nuts.
It's insane. It's a stupid amount of graphic processing power, but the kind of thing
But you
that-
need it for VR.
Yeah, you're going to need for VR. Probably not much else right now, but hey, if you're crazy like myself, try and purchase one.
Well, what I really want to do, and this is completely off topic,
Sure.
but I would like to build a portable VR computer.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I've thought about that for a whole bunch of different reasons. And you kind of need to have something which is, at the moment, pretty beefy. I can't imagine getting a big card into one of those mini ATX boxes.
And I wonder how big the 1070 is.
I don't know. Matt was actually looking up the specs of the size last night. I
To
think.
see if it fits in his case.
Yeah. Just get a tower case, Matt. It's the future.
I mean, I'm all about the tower cases.
But that's the GTX 1080. It's going to be coming out in 3 weeks, 2-3 weeks.
May 28th
Yep.
for the 1080 and June something.
I'm glad someone gives actual dates as opposed to just vague, arbitrary times.
I
which
know,
have
right?
absolutely-
Q3.
This summer.
exactly.
So-
Speaking of this summer,
Nice.
Awesome.
Gotta be warm.
It's
gonna be hot.
Yeah, get your towels ready. Yeah.
Dishonored 2 is
Oh, I
coming
saw
out
that.
in November
Dishy.
11th, which
Oh,
is in
shit.
summer. So y'all can.
But
Remember-
that's
remember.
America's winter.
Yeah, but yeah, all right.
Also, November's not summer.
Yeah.
You
Like-
dickhead.
Yeah,
Lest
it's
we
not.
forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's close enough, man.
No.
It's Remembrance Day, so we should remember it.
Yeah, remember that it's not summer.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're doing. That's pretty exciting for those who care about Dishonored. I played that game. Anyone else here check Dishonored out?
I
back in
played
the
it
day?
and promptly put it down.
Really?
Which
okay.
one was
Yeah.
that?
It was the steampunk sort of
Teleporting
ability.
Oh, yeah.
assassin
Yeah.
Britain
Cool, cool,
steampunk.
cool.
Yeah.
It was fun. I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah, fair
I
enough.
don't think I actually bought it. That's probably why.
Yeah, I did see it to its conclusion, and it was a lot of fun. I
So you
quite
excited for the
enjoyed it.
second?
I mean, I'm not jumping out of my seat or anything, but it's definitely something I'll be checking out.
I've read something about how you get to play as multiple characters.
Yeah, well, at the very least, you're not just the one character as you were last time. You now have this kind of grappling ability as opposed to just teleporting. So, Spider-Man.
Cool.
I hope.
Yeah, they said you can play as someone's son.
Or daughter or sister,
Yeah,
brother
it.
or mother.
so really anyone.
You sold me. I'm
Yeah.
buying it.
Somebody's son.
Yeah, exactly.
It's way more than I was expecting.
Speaking of games that are coming out, we have Uncharted 4.
Oh, yes. Coming out tomorrow.
Uncharted 4. It's tomorrow for us.
Tomorrow for us.
yesterday.
Yesterday for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to the space-time continuum. It's reviewing insanely well.
It's PS4 exclusive, isn't it?
Of course, yeah. It's one
Initially, yeah.
one of their it's one of their huge flagship things. They're not going to ever let that one go. It's kind of like the equivalent of Halo. For
Does it
them.
not go over to Xbox or anything like that?
Never.
No.
No,
Oh, dude.
no, yeah. Naughty Dog and PlayStation are in cahoots.
Yeah, man, they're in bed.
do.
69ing.
All right.
With all those ooga boogas.
Oh, yeah.
It's it's going to be a hopefully a pretty good game. We'll find out before next week, I'm sure, in which we'll be talking about
it looks
then.
good. I mean, as I said, in Town Hall, they've got a loop playing where it's just like, I guess they've just found the cinematics that are like pan camera down, and they've just looped them all together, so it's the camera just keeps panning down and shit.
Oh,
keeps
that's actually
happening.
pretty cool.
It actually looks pretty good, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I should
Sorry,
probably
today.
There's
go.
fire, there's
It's
people
awesome.
falling off a cliff.
Yeah.
That's
There's
pretty much
money.
what you have to have in every
Someone's
Uncharted.
dying.
Maybe half of them are from Assassin's Creed.
It's like, they won't notice.
I just like slipped in a couple, and they're like, hey,
Sorry,
hey.
it was a mistake.
Yeah.
We didn't mean to. No, I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully, it reinvents the wheel somewhat because Uncharted 3 got a bit stale. Yeah, Morgs? What do you
Uncharted 3 was Uncharted 2, except worse.
reckon? Yeah, it was just kind of more of the same.
It
kind
was a lesser version of the same thing.
Hey, the
That was
floor explodes.
PS3.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Uncharted all
The
happened
floor
on PS3.
explodes. What?
Pretty much, right? It's just like running and the floor explodes. And
No,
things
I
happen.
think they like the game devs admitted they just made set pieces and then built the story around.
Oh, it's disappointing.
Yeah.
I think they really wanted to get away from Uncharted, but they were kind of being strong-armed a bit by Sony.
Yeah.
And then they went off and made Last of Us, which
Which
is
is amazing.
unbelievable
Yeah.
critical hit.
Yeah.
And
Not
now
that I
they're-
know.
Yeah, whatever, man. You should
When
definitely.
you gonna
Still
play
in the
that?
box.
You're gonna play that over
I
the
was going to
Christmas
play
holidays.
it twice. I was going to play it over Christmas and over Easter.
Oh, nice.
And
Well,
I haven't done either.
Yeah. Well,
I'm going to have to like break my limbs or something.
Alright.
And
Labor
get
Day,
some kind
man.
of- It's Labor Day.
It's coming. It's coming.
Isn't it October?
It's
I
past.
have no idea. Yeah.
They had
Labor
a,
Day is always coming. Man.
No,
It's
no,
gone.
we-
They have a public holiday for it in Queensland, but not in New South
No,
Wales.
we haven't had our Labor Day.
We have one?
Yeah.
Queensland had theirs like 2 weeks ago.
Pretty sure it's in October or some shit.
No.
Well, I'm glad we've got accurate dates here.
I thought it
Or
was
some
Queen's
shit. It's happening. But yeah, at the very least, Uncharted, look out for it. We're gonna be
Anyway,
playing
whatever
it.
date it is, it will not be playing.
You bastard. That's kind of the most exciting releases of the week. However, Respawn Entertainment, no, they're not called Respawn Entertainment. I think they're just called Respawn. The guys who made Titanfall and are now
Oh,
making
yes.
Titanfall 2 have announced.
what?
Yeah.
Woo.
You didn't know Titanfall 2 was coming?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they've got a lot of work to do to make it
I think
in
it's
any-
good.
in
I-
any
yeah.
way good.
I think it's
Yeah.
just more of the same, isn't it?
No, they've changed it up. I think they're kind of taking the mechs out of the picture, like not the
What?
giant. Like, well, okay, no.
It's Titanfall without the
Yeah,
Titans.
Titanfall, just fall. But they've got like smaller scale mechs, and I don't know, maybe taking it to more of a Battlefield-esque kind of thing. Actually,
We'll see.
speaking
of
Battlefield,
Battlefield
hey.
1, yeah.
segue that shit. I didn't actually tell you the rest of that story, so let's get to Battlefield in a second because Respawn are going to be making a third-person action-adventure game set in the Star Wars universe.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, pretty exciting.
Okay.
Because
Third person though.
I'm just hoping that it's Jedi Knight Academy 2.
Oh God. I
Yeah.
hope it is.
Yeah, man, please.
Like that's all I want.
Probably
As
not
long as they
gonna
don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
Well,
Which they
there's
probably will.
There are a whole bunch of Star Wars games in production. The ex-developer of Uncharted. Who,
I remember you said. Remember we played. You said like 16 or something, and I was like, no way, man. And then you listed off
Yeah.
like at least 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so one of those, at the very least, if not an extra one on top of that, is being developed by the old Uncharted developer. Lead
okay.
developer who left the company, and everyone was like, "Oh, I don't know if Uncharted 4 is going to be any good," but we'll see.
Apparently he was just a
Yeah,
sandbag.
it was dead weight. Yeah,
She actually, but
She's
yeah,
a sandbag.
sandbag in action.
Sandbag Russ.
Let's see how her game is, and if it stacks up to this. Because
Well, if she is she from 1 or 2 or 3 or all?
she directed 1, 2, and 3.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
I mean, she did a good job of 1,
2
2.
apparently is awesome.
Yeah,
So.
so you know, everyone, and there was apparently rumors that there was some like pretty, like, oh shit, was there something going on? Why'd she leave?
Well,
What
okay.
happened? Was there some bad
Did
blood?
she potentially get poached for this thing?
Don't know, man. You know, they haven't come out and said anything. The only thing is that in the credits of Uncharted 4, they do have a little, hey, thank you, this
Oh,
person
okay, cool.
for doing all the development. Probably should have her name written down, but I don't because I'm a bad host.
Let's say Stacy.
Let's say it's
Put it in the
definitely-
show notes.
Here, we'll put it in the show notes, Morgan.
No, I'm not doing that. Fuck off.
So speaking
got Tracer in it
of
somehow.
it's Battlefield, that's what we're about to talk about, and
Battlefield.
jumped away from very quickly. We've all seen the trailer
Battlefield 1.
with that medium rare cover of White Stripes. I don't know
yeah.
how I feel about that.
Yeah, I'm a
particular
big
cover.
fan.
Apparently, what is it? Someone mode Deepak?
Depeche Mode.
Depeche Mode, yeah.
I'm not sure that's how you pronounce it. That's in
yeah,
my head how it
Deepak.
makes
I,
sense.
I swear it's Deepak mode.
Let's go with Deepak
Something like
Mode.
that, yeah.
I'm going to trust you on this one, Simon. You better be fucking right.
I probably am. You know.
Okay, good.
Just being me.
But yeah, so that trailer came out, and
Yeah.
in the great Battlefield versus Call of Duty wars have started up once more.
It looks very cinematic.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're right. The cinematic trailer definitely does look very cinematic. I'm interested to see thematically going back to World War One. I'm interested to see what impact that will have on how the games actually play, because it's all been modern.
Well, yeah, World War One was like all trench warfare. It was also just throwing like thousands and thousands of
soldiers
bodies at each other and like machine guns.
I mean,
like,
That's it. The servers go up to like 1,000 versus 1,000.
Yeah, that'll
And
be
you just
one
have to run.
one of the missions. Run into a machine
You don't
gun
even
turret.
get a gun.
I just want to play the British like commander who's like, go, go, go. It's like, but sir, I don't want to die. Go. And then you have to run.
I'm
away.
on a watch that doesn't have a second hand.
World War One was a lot of countries being like, we don't understand what modern warfare is like, so let's treat it like we have in the past, and lost thousands of people in days. Like,
So interestingly, on that point, I have a grab which I might put as the image for the podcast this week, and it's the breakout from the Polygon article, which is just in big text that says, and quote, "You can bring a horse to a tank fight."
yeah,
Shit's fucking hilarious. That shit is so funny.
French style.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see where that goes, because obviously, Battlefield has been modern warfare for so long, and it's been get in a helicopter with two of your friends and watch as that one person crashes and everyone dies, and then you're like, well, fuck this game, I'm going to go solo. And
Isn't COD doing like future
yeah,
warfare?
so,
as well?
they are, yeah.
so Call of Duty went like so far into the future, and interestingly enough, I mentioned the Call of Duty versus Battlefield wars because the Call of Duty community, or at least a community of people who have been watching this, freaked the fuck out, man. They hated where it was going as a game. They're
Well,
like
future warfare.
future warfare.
Yeah.
I haven't actually seen the trailer myself, but
Yeah.
everyone says it's pretty trite.
Looks
and
pretty,
kind of done. But they're packaging it up with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, as we mentioned
Oh,
last
the
week.
remastered,
remake.
yeah.
So that's confirmed now. So either way, there's going to be more Call of Duty and more Battlefield, in case that was a surprise to you.
Yep.
But yeah, I'll be interested to see how Battlefield 1 goes. They said weapons, you're going to be playing with like bayonets and hand maces, which is interesting. Said that there's a new melee system being introduced with more depth and meaning to hand-to-hand combat, including knives, maces, and a shovel, as well as a, quote, very powerful bayonets charge.
Awesome. Yeah, in the trailer, I'm pretty sure someone gets shoveled.
Yeah,
Which is
that's going to
yeah,
be
cool.
the
The
highlight
trench
of the
shovel.
game.
Yeah.
But yeah, Battlefield 1, we'll
It's
see.
really the worst way to go down if you're a soldier.
I probably will get it. Just
Yeah,
like-
I mean,
yeah.
I'm
depends
just
on pricing, and I want to actually see what the game's
yeah. I'll
like in
wait for some
action.
gameplay. If the gameplay looks good, then yeah.
That definitely came out as gay play.
Yeah, I was well. I was like, whoa,
I need some of that gameplay.
put that in the show notes.
As long as we're in the trenches,
Yeah,
we can do it.
That's Battlefield 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Battlefield
So
69.
Best Buy in America.
It'll come eventually.
I hate my job. All right.
Best Buy.
So Best Buy. So you remember how we talked about the Oculus problem?
Yeah.
With the whole being able to pre-order the PC
yes.
and then cancel the PC
Oh, yeah,
and walk
yeah.
away with an Oculus. A lot of people are getting pretty angry about that. There's been new development to that. There's actually going to be Oculuses on the fucking shelf of Best Buys before people get their fucking
Oh man.
But
right?
what?
Wow.
How is this happening though? Is there's
They
Someone
came out.
fucked
so
up.
they're obviously making them quick enough.
Well, they say
Is the
that
postal just what's going on?
a small number of Rifts will be available for purchase at select Best Buy stores starting May 7 and online from Microsoft and Amazon starting at May 6, 9 a.m. Quantities will be extremely limited while we catch up on Rift pre-orders.
What?
What the fuck?
So we got these rifts here. We're not going to give them to the
Yeah.
pre-orders.
We'll just throw them to.
Yeah.
You can just fight over them. Fucking fight over them. Fight to the death.
That's just
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a pretty terrible,
That's pretty bad.
terrible showing. The whole VR rollout has been a complete disaster for Oculus and, admittedly, for Vive as well, HTC.
I think Wave 2 is about to start though, isn't it?
I have no
Fair.
idea, man. Yeah.
Five, yeah.
I stopped looking at the Vive subreddit once I got mine. I'm like, yeah, I'm now a winner.
face.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the Best Buy, and that's pretty much the news for this week. And it's been an exciting time. I'm Walter Cronkite signing out. Walter Cronkite.
Thanks for stopping by.
Was that really his sign out?
You stay classy, Stan Diego.
Stan Diego.
Gay play.
Yeah, just deflect, man. Just deflect.
Yeah, I'm the idiot.
It's emails time, and you know what that means.
The emails.
check
the emails, check the emails.
check the emails.
So yeah, as we can show, that's what it means. It means time to rap about emails. And we have an email here from Brent in South Australia who asks, what are your guys' gaming setups? Do you have multi-monitor? Do you prefer keyboard and mouse over a gamepad? And do you have like a sweet gaming desk, or what's the deal? Anyone got in on the force feedback codpiece action yet?
Not
It's unfortunately like still in a beta alert.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay,
It's not available for consumer.
soon.
release.
Got an order pending, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
What's a?
Hopefully it goes out a little bit better than the VR thing, because I've
man.
pre-ordered mine.
I don't know.
Expecting it as it's been told.
What's a gaming desk?
I don't know, man. I've heard of like, you know, you've obviously got stand
It's
and
like the
sitting
egg.
desks.
Seen the egg thing?
The egg. Oh, you mean like where you sit down and it's like
yeah, and the monitor's like a part of the desk or whatever.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
No, I have some total piece of shit $80 IKEA desk.
I have
Dude,
the desk
don't
that
call it
came
a piece
with
of shit.
Our house.
If it's an upgrade over the desk that we made you, it's not a piece of shit.
Hey man, that desk was awesome.
Fuck yeah, it was.
Yeah, it
The desk was fucking sick, man.
Great desk.
We're just like, yeah, one day we realized you needed a desk, so we went to Bunnings, got a couple bits of wood, and we're like, none of us know how to do woodworking, but surely we can work this out.
It actually
we
fell
made a
apart
desk.
immediately. Like we built it upside down, and then when I went to turn it over, it fell apart. And then
But
I
we
put
fixed it.
Yeah, I just arrow-dited the shit out of it.
And then brackets, right? Or did we put brackets?
put
and then
brackets.
We
you
put
added
brackets,
arrowlight?
and then the brackets didn't work, and then I added arrowlight to the brackets.
That was the desk which sagged in the middle, right?
Yeah. We put wood to support it at the back.
Yeah, it did sag in the middle.
I'm surprised it stayed up for as long as it did, man.
It was good, man. It's a quality desk.
But
There
yeah,
were
'cause-
times I was worried it was just going to collapse and break both my legs,
Yeah.
especially when I had a fucking TV on it.
Right,
There
man.
was a while where I just rolled with a fucking 40-inch TV as a monitor.
Oh, that's right.
And I was sitting like as a regular desk with a 40-inch TV, and I was playing like StarCraft and
Yeah.
shit and Dota, and the mini map was huge. It was
Yeah.
perfect.
You're cheating, man.
Now you
Cheating.
have
But then
tiny
I,
monitors.
yeah, I did that for a year, and now I have three 23-inch monitors. And
That's
I went and got an eye test because I'm like, this surely can't be good for me.
Were you alright?
For my they're exactly the same. So if anyone's wondering, you can totally use a TV as a monitor. Just make
half
sure
a
it's
meter
high
away.
resolution,
Would not
otherwise you'll fuck
recommend.
up your eyes.
Would
Yeah.
not recommend that. You got to think about that input delay, man.
Yeah.
Good shit.
You're right. It is good shit. It's great shit. What about you guys?
I have two 27-inch monitors,
Oh, yeah.
and they're quality.
Large and in charge.
They're large. They have zero bevel basically, which is awesome.
You just
They
mount
look
them
like-
on the wall.
They look like one monitor.
They're the
One long
2.5K
one.
ones, yeah?
Nah, just 1080. I wish I had 2.5.
I have a 2.5K, but the other ones are only 1080. I don't know. You kind of need one at the moment, but the rest of it's kind of. I don't need that much real estate with 3 monitors.
No.
Which, you know, is kind of a stupid amount of monitors, realistically. Like, it's cool to have the real estate, don't get me wrong. I love it. I like being able to be like, I want to look this way now. And I can, and I don't have to, you know, turn my head.
I have 3 at home, and I have 2 going at work.
Yeah.
And at work, I'm like, where's my third?
I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. I wonder if that ever stops. Like, if you get a 4th,
Yeah.
will you miss the 4th? Like, what if you had, like, a monitor above, like, your TV, for example, just above your screens? You could just throw things up there.
Do you think it's like phantom limb syndrome?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the idea that you're missing out on something you're just used to.
Yeah.
But you got 2 monitors, yes, Simon?
I have one.
Oh,
What?
dude.
Right?
Oh, man, that's ghetto.
Have you
Yeah.
have you had multi-monitors before?
I've never had multi
Oh,
monitors.
man.
no.
It'll
Well,
change your
I
life.
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get one eventually.
I mean, if you want to. I mean, if you start down this path, it's a dark
I know,
path to
yeah.
go down. We're here speaking with our 3 monitor setups. It's,
I only have 2.
yeah, oh, well, you know, whatever. You got 27 inches.
But I got 2, I got huge ones. so
Huge
it's fine.
27 inches.
I actually can't fit 3 on my desk.
Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough.
Actually, I might just be able to now because I have my $20 desk I got from some random business.
Oh, yeah, dude, those
Yeah.
are the best kinds of desks.
They're
Except
great.
they come with sometimes tape marks. And it's like, who's been taping these desks together?
Just get that shit off with Metho.
Yeah, but then the metho makes you pass out. And
Makes
It's only if you
pass
huff
out.
it.
Don't, yeah, don't huff it.
Yeah, if you put your nose in the bottle.
get me in a room with metho, try stop me from huffing it. Exactly. And in terms of
salad.
the other side of the question, keyboard and mouse or gamepad?
Oh, it
Keyboard
depends on the
and
game.
That's,
Oh, yeah, it
it's
depends on the
entirely
game.
game dependent.
Okay,
But
let's,
yeah.
let's
that being said, I was a long. I just didn't use like a gamepad for so long.
a
on my computer.
staunch advocate
Yeah,
of
that-
the
I'd say
keyboard
that.
and mouse.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was definitely a staunch advocate.
Yes.
However, now playing it, using it for Rocket League, and now that it's there, if there is a gamepad compatible game, I'll check it out, and if it is better, I'll use it.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, keyboard and mouse typically is better for first-person shooters. But
Absolutely, yeah.
not necessarily a lot else. Apart from RTSs.
Yeah, driving games, 100% controller.
And a lot of third-person action games work with the controller.
I wouldn't play the Division with a controller. You definitely can, but
Yeah.
I
I'd
prefer
prefer
it.
keyboard.
Yeah,
and
I think
mouse.
because that does require like shooting. Like, so I'm just thinking something like a Dark Souls. That's
Yeah, I play Dark Souls with controller.
Yeah, and I personally find that I'm preferring a controller from a comfort level.
Yeah, same. It's strange. Like I said, I just wouldn't even touch them before, but lately I'm like, oh, if I can, I will, because I find like the controller's well made, and like not keyboard and mouse isn't not well made, but it hasn't really changed.
I find that I'm actually getting wrist strain from playing long sessions of Dota. Thankfully, that hasn't happened to me with Overwatch. I don't know. Maybe it's just the way that I'm moving my hands.
Yeah.
No, it's my mouse hand, and it's I don't know something. The fact that probably I'm just clicking in a circle constantly.
Probably.
I don't know what it is, but I find that I do get a little bit of wrist strain with.
Yeah, I've been getting some weird like wrist. It's not as bad as Morgan's weird thing.
Oh, when
I don't think it happens.
your concrete mixer wrist.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Oh, apparently it's fixed. It's probably for the best.
Christ about it.
Sick.
But yeah, I suppose those are our preferences. Do you use gamepad at all, Simon?
I don't have a controller for my computer.
Know
but
what you're getting for Christmas?
Yep. A monitor.
Second
and
monitor and a controller.
But I mean, I use, since I don't have one, I use the keyboard and mouse for Rocket League as well, and I find it
perfectly
fine.
fine,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think there's no real big difference. There's a divide in even the group of
I've
people.
tried it, like when I've came here or at yours once, possibly.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think, and I mean, maybe it's because I'm just used to it now.
Yeah,
but
definitely
I
is.
much prefer the keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like, yeah, obviously
Yeah.
the gamepad offers you a slightly higher amount of control, but
Yeah.
it's really not a
Variables.
huge deal for most of the time you're playing the game. So, yeah, there's your answers there, hombre.
Although I do have my awesome chair with no wheels.
Oh yeah, man,
Yeah.
you need to replace that.
No, it's fine. I'm used to it now.
Oh, dude.
I'm just slightly
But then
lower.
you can't
no.
wheel around.
I know. I have to
sucks.
slide.
My next upgrade is my chair.
I need a
Yeah.
new chair as well.
You
Yeah.
get one of those
Chairs are
$500
expensive,
ultra
man.
ergonomic
Yeah.
ones.
No, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm getting into this fucking like ridiculous one. It has like a pop-up leg rest and everything. So if I want to watch movies, I can just go. It's like fucking sick.
My bed is right next to my computer,
Yeah,
so I can
same.
just do that anyway.
Yeah, I've got that going.
But you
right
have to
now.
get out of your chair.
I don't.
Morgan won't have to get out
I will
of his
have to
chair.
just fold out my fucking
I don't
leg
have
rest.
to. No, I don't have to get out of my chair. Like I just put my feet up on the bed.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy's a thinker. Doesn't need no $500.
No, I do that as
chair.
well.
You
Yeah,
can't
true.
pretend like you're
Yeah.
in the future. Just,
Yeah.
oh,
I mean,
You're
I
kind of
then
like a
have to
Wall-E
turn my
situation.
head, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
this is
shame.
Turning head
bullshit.
sucks. You need a Vive, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's the future. So we got an email here from Ben who asks, what other games have had would you kindly moments? For those who haven't played BioShock,
Nice.
mind-blowing reveals. Now, again, for those who haven't played BioShock, the would you kindly moment in BioShock is when you've realized in the game that's called BioShock, you are being mind-controlled by the narrator, effectively, the person who's talking to you the entire time. And you'll notice if you go back and play the game that he always prefaces his directives with a, oh, would you kindly go and do this? He's an Irish gentleman. And you just think it's part of his character, but then you eventually stumble into a room, it's would you kindly written all over the walls, and oh, chills all over my body. And yeah, pretty exciting. But your general question is mind-blowing ass moments. Have you guys had any or can think of any? So obviously this conversation is going to be filled with spoilers, so heads up for every game ever. Now we'll keep it, I suppose, relatively retro sound pretty
Yeah.
good?
Nothing. What?
I don't know, nothing in the last
5 years.
couple of years, yeah. I'm going to start with like the very first time that I died in Super Metroid, and I realized that Samus was in fact a lady. And I was looking at a pixelated lady, and I was like, what? Video games don't have female protagonists? That's not allowed. No, it was a very confronting... It was a crazy moment because
So that was like straight up when you died.
yeah, well, when you die, your suit actually kind of flashes in like a lightning kind of thing, and you see for a second there that she's that's a woman.
And this is in like one of the first
SNES era,
Okay.
so I was like about 7.
I thought it was only like later.
No,
that they
no,
revealed
no,
that.
no. It was
straight from the
Super
beginning?
Nintendo.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
it was always the case. It's just that I'd only ever played games which had a male protagonist at that stage
so you're like,
because
well.
I was quite young and I was a boy, so I chose the boy characters, you know. And
Samus is a cool robot.
yeah. And that was
like,
one of those.
what?
That actually was honestly one of those formative moments of like, yeah, women can be cool, powerful, like superheroes as well for me. As stupid as that is, I was a kid. You know, the first role I ran into, so that was definitely a mind blowing moment for me. But yeah, what about you guys?
Pretty much any of the Final Fantasies seem to have like a moment because I mean it's driven by story,
Yeah.
so like there's always a sort of twist, if you will, like, and when it sort of drops it, you're like, oh, that's what that is. I'll talk about 10. So 10, just to go quick summary is like you play a character who has been taken from your world, which is this like it's called Zanarkand, and it's where you have like grown your entire life, and you're this famous sportsman.
Sports ball player. It's just a game with a fucking
Blitzball.
I've
Blitzball.
heard so many
Blitzball.
bad things about Blitzball.
Blitzball is awesome.
All right.
No, anyway, so you get taken from this world by the great evil of the game to another world, and basically your journey of the game is to try to get back home. And
Hold on. Was it Earth all along?
It kind of. So anyway, your journey is to try to get home. You know, you meet people and you do stuff, and you find about like what's actually going on in this world, and it's pretty fucked up and like it's crazy. But anyway, towards the end of the game, you find out that you actually come from a dream world, and you're not real.
Oh shit, man!
Yeah.
They pull that shit. They seriously drop the like, yo,
Yeah.
you're dreaming the entire time.
Well, no. Well, it's like
You're actually a figment
No.
of someone else's imagination.
Well, it's really quite complicated to do with like the great evil in the game, but like there's these people who are kind of like trying to control it, and in doing that, they have like this collective consciousness, which then creates this world that you've come from.
Man, that's whack.
It's pretty good, but yeah, anyway, it's a big moment where you're like, oh shit, and there's another character who also comes with you, and like he kind of, I don't know, there's a few hints and things throughout the game, but when it kind of finally tells you, you're like, oh shit, I'm not real, like, and I'm the protagonist of the game, like,
That's crazy.
yeah.
That's really, really cool. That's really rad. What about you, Morgie?
Yeah. This is probably everyone's probably played this, but Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1, the original one, you the way the game is played is you basically just bounce between one of two characters, a American Ranger or a British SAS military man.
What was his name?
Soldier Man.
Soldier Man. I
Wasn't
know.
it like Ghost or something?
That was
No,
one of the
Ghost
dudes.
is 2.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Call of Duty Ghosts.
But yeah, I forgot. I think it's Sanchez is the American one. And about halfway through the game, Sanchez gets caught up in a nuclear explosion and dies.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was
That was pretty nuts.
confronting
That
because this is the character you've been
Yeah.
playing the whole time, and
Gotten
you're like,
used
this
to.
is one of the two dudes you get to play, and yeah, he just dies, and it's actually like there's a mission you play while you're dying. You crawl around, and everything's just all
Yeah, like-
apocalyptic
yeah.
and terrible, and it's just
Helicopter crash. You get to play through that, and then
Yeah,
you're on
it's
the ground, and you
confronting.
think, "Oh shit, I've got a chance to somehow win here," because you know that's where it's
you guess
kind of breaking that game layer.
experience the character's
Yeah.
Last moment.
Final
radiation
moments.
poisoning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
pretty
quite-
brutal.
quite intense, and it's really cool.
And it's the first thing that sets off the whole cliche Call of Duty Modern Warfare. What's the moment that's going to be like,
Yeah.
this is too much? And I
That-
think in 2 was the airport scene.
yeah,
where
no,
you
no
gun
Russian.
down everyone
No
in the
Russian
air.
Yeah.
was it?
Yeah, Russian.
No Russian was the name of the mission.
Oh,
Russian,
okay. That was right at the beginning, though, wasn't it?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then
that
I
was
think
right
in
at the start.
3 they shoot a kid or something,
Yeah. I
which
mean,
is
like,
pretty tacky. And I don't know what they're going to do in 4. There's probably going to be like you abort
press
a
X
fetus.
to pay respects.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
You
yeah.
perform like a third trimester abortion.
There's,
Jesus.
there's yeah. I mean, there's also a lot of Metal Gear Solid moments as well. Speaking of things
Yeah,
that kind of have a history for
true.
that. I mean, like the biggest one for me was probably towards the end of Metal Gear Solid 2, where the whole story starts to come together, and there's a whole bunch of fourth wall breaking moments all happening at once. And I remember very distinctly getting chills up my arms when the commander, I can't remember his name now, Matt's probably going to kill me, turns to you and starts talking to you, saying turn the game console off in one of the typical exchanges that you have with Snake. And he's just saying turn the console off right now. And I'd been playing the game for like 4 hours. It was
Yep.
dark in the middle of the night, and I legitimately got freaked out for a moment.
Yeah.
You know, like when that does happen, it's a pretty beautiful thing. And of
Yeah.
course, Metal Gear Solid games especially are built around the idea that 80% of the time it's cool, normal story, you know where this is going, and then someone presses the fucking crazy button.
Yep.
Shit hits the fan, and all of a sudden there are nukes being redirected by other nukes, and a giant fucking robot comes out of nowhere, and then Hideo Kojima just rides in on a fucking horse laughing the entire time.
Yep.
It's a good time, man.
That's pretty much Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, exactly. And I suppose
I'm sure there's plenty more.
there's probably a Wikipedia article
yeah.
entirely for just like.
Yeah,
have you guys
biggest-
heard of just change the topic entirely? There is a Wikipedia article of unusual articles.
Yeah.
It's a really fucking.
What
good
does that
time.
mean?
It's just anything which kind of is particularly strange. Let me quickly pull it up. A super lamb banana, a statue in Liverpool that's half lamb, half banana.
What the
Awesome.
fuck?
Yeah, Elvis's greatest shit. Not the one he was trying to pass the night he allegedly died. Hitler has only got one ball. Was Der Fuhrer only half a man? Click this article to find out. Yeah, no, it's legitimate.
That
and
sounds
it's
like
all
clickbait shit.
It does,
I know.
and that's why it's interesting because it's on
Yeah.
Wikipedia. But yeah, that's your Wikipedia catch up for the week.
There we go.
But
I
yeah,
know Hitler only had one ball.
well, let's find out more about Hitler's one
No,
ball.
we don't need to know.
It's a British song that mocks Nazi leaders using blue comedy.
So
What's
he
blue comedy?
probably does have 2 balls.
Well, I mean, he's dead, man.
He doesn't have any balls
Doesn't have
anymore.
any balls anymore.
Well, yeah.
I mean, the body
Obviously.
still does.
Well, I don't know. I think the ball's probably decomposed.
They're probably
No
kept in a
balls.
jar somewhere
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
for museum purposes.
Winston Churchill
to create more Hitlers.
These are Hitler's balls.
just hanging out.
We took them as a prize. They probably busted the door. Oh shit, he killed himself. We'll
Yeah.
just take his balls.
Snip.
Quick, someone get them before they get cold. Gotta
Still
keep
fresh.
them
I
warm.
like my balls warm.
Still good.
Sally writes in and asks, would you rather only ever be able to whisper or only ever be able to shout?
Shout.
Shout.
Fucking for real?
Yes!
Oh, man. Oh, my fucking ears.
I don't have to listen to it.
Yeah, you do.
Well, I mean, I do, but you know.
Well, I think shouting...
There would be no secrets ever.
No.
It'd be the
Yeah.
best. I'm like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
going to take a shit now.
Your neighbors would fucking hate you. You wouldn't be able to hold down a job, let alone a relationship or
Yeah.
any personal friends at all.
Whispering, you'd have to be so close to everyone.
I just marry a
Like,
deaf girl.
You know, just say
That's a good plan.
you want to talk to someone 100 meters away.
Yeah, true. You're set. You're good.
Yeah.
But okay.
But
if you could whisper, you could use like a megaphone.
yeah, exactly. You can use technology.
But then you have to fucking
could be
carry
a
a
roadie.
megaphone everywhere, Dan.
I'd rather carry megaphones and complementary pairs of earphones.
I'm sure someone will make a goddamn anti-megaphone.
The anti-megaphone.
Yeah.
The whisper phone.
Yeah.
You just talk into it backwards.
Oh, man.
That's pretty much it, right? That's exactly
You could just
how
be
it
a
works.
roadie for Jimmy Barnes.
1,
1, 2.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like one of the biggest problems with always yelling has got to come down to like anything you want to ever remotely be personal or have any legitimate
Oh
connection
yeah.
about.
Imagine having
Like,
sex.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's just me on a normal day. But like, I think the big problem is that if you're trying to, you know, like let's say you're trying to have a romantic moment with someone, you look so pretty.
You don't have to say it with that tone.
So what's the tone then?
I mean, yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. I'll
Deaf
let you
girl.
say that.
Telling you, deaf girl.
Well, it's just kind of the answer to both problems.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess.
But whispering, I don't know. Whispering has that whole. You can have that
Like,
whole.
I'm gonna get a cochlear implant. I'm like, no.
just
yeah. Whispering has the
ASMR effect. Oh no, I'm just gonna unpack this bag of chips. This bag of chips.
If it really whispers, you feel like whispering during sex as well. It's like, oh yeah.
I'm just gonna touch this. Oh, this is a gum wrapper. I just found on the
What about like basic bodily functions? You're like, oh, true.
Oh
Hilarious.
man, that's good. Yeah, so I suppose you don't have your answer there, but that's all you get. That's all you get for asking a question like that. That's good though. Send more emails to info at We Press
Sally.
Buttons, and we will definitely read them out. Now, of course, we have one final email here. I'm not going to tell this guy to send emails in because he already sends
Can't
emails
stop
in,
him.
and we've tried. We've set up different email addresses. We've tried
It just sends them
blacklisting.
via the post.
Yeah, it's really annoying. Now we have to read them out, as is the proviso. So again, that email is info@wepressbuttons.com. Send them in and you'll be better than this guy who sends his email and says, regarding WPB.com, ignoring the real threat. I have an incredibly important issue that you failed to address so far in 25 whole episodes of We Press Play. In fact, you've been so silent for so long that I have to believe you're intentionally avoiding the topic. So I ask you, what will We Press Buttons do to stop ISIS? You're probably too full of the milk of human kindness to stand up to them. Sounds like a big bunch of shit to me. You can't just go make it... Pardon me. You can't just make it go away by refusing to talk about it like all other liberals. Tough talk is needed. I will suplex ISIS. I will suplex... Ah! Microphone flying everywhere. I will suplex the caliphate right on its stupid ass. Al-Baghdadi thinks he's hard. Well, let's see how he does against a few of my best boys in the Macca's car park. Then we'll see who's the real hot stuff. I bet those ISIS chuckleheads are too chicken shit to settle this like men. I won't back down. If ISIS want a big old ass whooping, they should come down to Tuggerah Pies and Pasties in half an hour where I'm always waiting, trying to get my unsatisfyingly small knob dislodged from this hopefully inactive meat mincing machine. From Danny Tanner in Tuggerah, as the case may be. What are we going to do to stop ISIS, guys?
I like how it was hopefully inactive.
You got to cross your fingers with those.
It's the only way to find out if it's active is to put your dick in it.
We're going to stop ISIS one podcast at a time.
I think
Yeah.
so. That's a good
Starting
start.
with this episode. This is a
We're
weaponized
gonna
podcast.
stop them with active meat minces.
Hey.
That's got to be
Like
stop
that
the worst
movie.
warfare. Which one?
Remember that really overly graphic?
Oh, yeah, I
moment?
remember that
I know
movie.
exactly the one, but I can't
Either
think of
can
it.
I.
It'll be in the show notes, Morgan Cave.
But someone
Oh,
gets
man, I gotta
put
figure
into
out what
a
that's called.
mincer.
Oh,
Yeah, and then they continue fighting within
yeah.
the mincer.
Oh no, I'm thinking of a
It was,
different one then.
yeah, it's like a Korean film or something.
it's like, yeah.
Oh, Battle Royale.
No,
no.
Although that is a great
that was a
fucking
good
movie.
movie. Yeah,
I
no, this
remember-
was like a crappy movie.
Kind
It
of
wasn't
B-side thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
There was-
speaking...
like people would get their arms ripped off and blood would just be like.
Oh,
yeah,
I
and he
know
like
the one you're
literally
talking
like
about.
put
Yeah.
his foot, and it has the X-ray
Oh.
mode, and the foot goes like way up the
Yeah.
butthole.
Yeah,
Is that the one where the guy gets the hole punched in him?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
totally.
yeah.
That's
And all the
100%
guts
it.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should watch that film, man. I want to.
Yes.
I want to see what. I have a real soft
I swear
spot in
we
my heart.
did. I swear we watched the whole thing,
Did we?
and I still don't know what it's called.
I don't know what it's called. I just remember seeing it on.
Do you remember that
YouTube.
really horrible Korean? I think it was Korean, maybe Japanese horror film, which was it.
House-
Hausu?
Hausu!
Oh,
Hausu,
Hausu.
man! I've been fucking thinking about
Hausu's
that movie.
great, man. You haven't seen Old Boy yet, have you?
No, you know, I did watch the first 20 minutes at one time, but it was like 2 a.m. We kind of need to bail from that dude's house. But like,
Old Boy is good.
it was fantastic, man. I'm not going to qualify why we're just at some random dude's house at 2 a.m. But it was, it looked like a really good film, man. I was actually thinking about it when I was watching Deadpool on the weekend.
Oh yeah.
Because of the revenge flick element to
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But again, I have not seen Old Boy, so I can't really.
How good is Deadpool?
Deadpool's a fucking great movie. Holy shit, it's a good movie. It took me so long to go around seeing it, but now I can engage in the general fandom which seems to be surrounding that. But you made a good point for the podcast. How the fuck did they follow that movie up?
I don't know.
Like, do you think the next one will be as good, more of the same, good enough for you, or do
Well-
you want something?
Well, they've put more money to it, haven't they?
Oh, really? I wouldn't be
Probably, yeah.
surprised.
I don't know. Like
They're going to be able to buy 2 more X-Men at least.
yeah.
Do you reckon they'll get Wolverine? They'll never get Wolverine.
Never. No.
But yeah, we better get this show off the road because we want to go
Hey.
home and play some fucking Overwatch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Because it's been what 2 and a bit hours since we've played, and I'm getting the shakes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, of
that
course, gotta smash that. We'll of course be back next week with hopefully less Overwatch talk and probably more Uncharted talk,
Probably.
and some other talk. I can't tell you what the game will be about though. You know, yeah,
it's
fuck that
Uncharted,
sentence up.
man.
You know,
Words will be said.
yeah, probably.
things will
Hopefully in
happen.
the right order. I can't guarantee it.
There'll be some storyline of some sort.
Yeah, it'll be subtle. You have to pay real close attention to it. But it'll be
It'll be
every
some-
7th word that Simon says mixed with every 3rd word that Jamie says, and there'll be a story that'll come out of that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And that'll be our IP. So don't try and make any
Yeah,
fucking movies out of it because
Find
we're
it.
currently in production.
Yeah, man. We got a team of lawyers ready.
Yeah, they'll fucking sue you into the ground.
You can hear them in the background.
Yeah, they're in that room just shuffling papers.
What's the noise that lawyers make?
Lawyering.
Shuffling paper.
Lawyer.
They're putting-
Objection!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Objection! Objection!
They shuffle papers around and occasionally just yell objection.
Phoenix, fucking right.
Sustained. Yeah.
Sustained is when they
good
agree
for
with
Oh
you.
yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Sustained. I could be a
Sustained.
judge, man. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Look at us. We're ready to lawyer right now.
Yeah. We are the
Get the
devil's
lawyers, get the
lawyers.
fuck out of here. We don't need you anymore. And
Oh.
with that, we should probably wrap the show up. My name's Dan, joined, of course, by Morgan, Jamie, and Simon. We're the ragtag crew of lovely people. From
ragtag.
Shut your mouth.
Yeah.
We press buttons. This has been We Press Play. Send your emails in to info@wepressbuttons.com, and we will catch you next week. Take it easy. Sayonara. Goodbye. Auf Wiedersehen.
Wow.
Oh.